So today I want to tell you a story. It's about the hidden cost of being maybe a little too helpful. It's the story of a young student named David and how learning to say one simple two-letter word completely changed his life.
Let me just ask you something to kick things off. Have you ever had that feeling where you're doing everything right? You're kind, you're helpful, you're always there for people, but you just feel empty, like you're getting nothing back. No real respect, no gratitude, just more requests. It's like slowly but surely you stop being a person to them. You just become a resource. That feeling, that's what we're going to get into today.
And this is exactly where we find our guy, David. He's 19 years old, a student at Stanford University. I mean, one of the best schools in the world. So on the outside, he is absolutely living the dream. But on the inside, in those quiet moments in his dorm room, he was completely drowning.
So how did he even get there? Well, it all started with a really simple trap. One that, let's be honest, is super easy for any of us to fall into. The people pleaser's trap. You see, the pressure on David was just constant, and it was coming from every direction. You had his roommate, Jake, knocking on his door at 11 p.m., needing help with a problem set. Then there's his classmate, Marcus, who wouldn't even ask. He'd just text, "Send your notes," not even a please. And then there was Sarah from his economics class, who somehow started making it a weekly thing for him to proofread her papers. And David? He never, ever said no.
And here is the real, tangible cost of all of those yeses. His GPA had slipped all the way down to a 3.1. And this wasn't because he wasn't smart. The kid was brilliant. It was because he was spending way more time and energy on everybody else's success than he was on his own.
And it all just came to a head one night. Picture this. He's sitting in his dark dorm room, the only light is from his desk lamp, and he's surrounded by his own unfinished assignments after spending the entire day helping other people with theirs. And in that quiet, this really heavy question just hits him. And it wasn't even about them. It was aimed right at himself. Why don't I matter to myself? That was the turning point.
So that one brutally honest question, it set him on a totally new path. He didn't have the answers yet, not at all, but he knew he had to find a completely different way of thinking about himself and, well, everyone else.
So a few days later, he's just kind of killing time in the campus bookstore, and this one title practically jumps off the shelf at him. Not Nice by a Dr. Robert Glover. He picks it up, flips through a few pages, and something just clicks. He buys it. And that night, for the first time in a long time, instead of helping someone else, he just read.
And this one line from the book, man, it just stopped him cold. He read it over and over. When you always say yes to others, you're saying no to yourself. It so perfectly captured the trade-off he'd been making without even realizing it. Every single yes to them was a silent no to his own studies, his own sleep, his own well-being. The book actually gave his problem a name, Nice Guy Syndrome, and it gets right to the core of it. See, it's not about being a bad person. It's about being so focused on being liked, so terrified of any kind of conflict, that you end up completely abandoning your own needs. You basically become an approval addict. And then it introduced this really powerful idea of covert contracts. This is when you do something nice for someone, but secretly you're expecting something back. Like respect or maybe gratitude. But here's the kicker. Because you never actually say it out loud, people just take the help and move on. And it leaves you feeling used and totally confused. David saw himself on every single page. Okay, so armed with this brand new understanding, David decided he had to do something. He wasn't going to be a jerk or anything. He was just going to be honest. It was time. Time to say his first real no. And of course, the test came fast. Marcus, the send your notes guy, comes up to him asking for homework help. Now the old David, he would have immediately said, "Sure, yeah, come in." But the new David, he calmly and without any apology just said, "Nah, man, I'm using this time for myself." And you know what? Marcus just looked confused for a second, then walked away and figured it out on his own. The next challenge was a little tougher. Sarah texts him late one night, asking for a review of her paper. He politely says he can't, that he has his own work. Her response was a classic guilt trip. "Really? You're always so helpful." And for the first time, David saw that for what it was. It wasn't a compliment, it was a tool she was using to get him back in line. But the toughest moment, the real boss level, was in a group project meeting. His roommate Jake had done pretty much nothing, and then, in front of everyone, asked David to just cover his section. All eyes were on David, and he just calmly leans back and says, "I've got my own section to handle, Jake. We all have the same deadline. you've got time. He just held his ground. And after a super awkward moment of silence, another group member actually chimed in and agreed with him. The meeting just moved on.
Now you'd think that saying no would have led to him being isolated, right? That's what he was terrified of. But instead, it led to something he never ever expected. Genuine respect.
I mean, the results were stunning. And the proof was right there in his grades. In just one semester of protecting his time and his energy, his GPA shot up from that 3.1 all the way to a 3.7. He was finally doing his own best work.
And here's the most surprising part. The thing he feared most, that people would dislike him, it just didn't happen. The complete opposite happened. When he started valuing his own time, other people started valuing it too. They didn't respect him less. They respected him more.
And this new reality, it played out in all these small but really meaningful ways. Marcus started saying hi with this genuine warmth, not just when he needed something. Sarah actually asked him to get coffee, just to talk, with no agenda. And even Jake started pulling his own weight. You see, when David stopped making it so easy for people to use him, they either stepped up or they stepped away. And either way, David won.
So this brings the whole question back around to you, right? David's story is a powerful one, but the lesson here is totally universal. Where in your own life are you saying yes when every single part of you is screaming no?
Let's end on this one last thought. David didn't stop being a kind person. He just stopped being a doormat. And in the end, he realized that kindness without boundaries, well, it isn't really kindness at all. It's fear. Fear of being disliked, fear of conflict. But real respect, the kind that actually lasts, that only comes when other people see that you respect yourself first.